When I was much younger than I am today, I had this really bad habit of having the desire to do something, but never actually starting. I'd plan, I'd research, I'd even make a landing page or a design logo, but somehow the spark would fade before I ever made any real progress. For instance, this very YouTube channel you're watching right now, I had at least 5 before it. I would make a name, I would choose a banner, I would make a nice profile picture. I would even outline my video ideas, but never actually post. And every time I came back to try again with more inspiration, I would repeat the same cycle until finally something changed. And now I'm able to make content for at least 8 hours a day, and I do a small part-time job on the side. And I'm still really early on, but I want you to be able to start just the same as I did. So whatever it is that you're waiting to start, let's fix that right here, right now. These are the 3 tips that help me turn waiting into action. They're not in any particular order, but the last one is the least talked about and the most powerful. So stick around for that. Tip number 1 is start small and start at all. You may have heard this before, but you probably haven't heard it explained in the way that I'm about to present it to you. Start small means don't wait for the equipment, the setup, the website, the certification. Just begin with whatever you have and invest as little as possible. Why? Because doing teaches you far faster than planning. When you begin to act, you figure out what your dream actually requires. And more importantly, that momentum gives you the motivation and it keeps you hooked on the task. But if you plan without acting, you're not really gaining any progress. And this is what causes so many people to quit. Think about it this way. I call this one the dog story. Imagine 2 different people, but with the same dream, both to start a hot dog stand. The first one wants to do it right. He's gonna buy the fancy cart, perfect the recipe, get all the permits, and wait until everything's flawless before he starts. And months later, after everything seems perfect and ready to go, he finally does a test run at his friend's backyard party. Meanwhile, the second person doesn't wait at all. He grabs a foldable table, gets supplies and a mini grill from Walmart, and then he attends the same backyard party, but this weekend. Within a few hours and his bare minimum setup, he gets instant feedback and figures out which hot dogs actually sell and what equipment he really needs in the future. By the time that the first guy finally gets started, the second guy, the dog in this story, is already scheduling regular events, he's got a refined process, and he's got the best hot dogs in town. You see, it's not always about perfection. Sometimes you just gotta be a dog. Go after it. Don't need all the fancy equipment, the permits, or the excess. Just get it done with what you have. Start small and start at all. The lesson here is that your actual experience is what creates professionalism. Whether it's content creation, a lawn care business, or applying for your dream job, the real progress only happens after you start. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Just start small and start at all. For me, one of the big reasons as to why I always wanted to prep before actually starting is because I didn't want to look unprofessional or like I didn't know what I was doing. Honestly, it's because I was caring far too much about what people think. Which leads me to my second tip. Nobody cares, and that's good news. You see, if you're afraid of making mistakes or looking unprofessional, it's probably because you think that everyone's watching. But here's the truth. Nobody cares. And it's not a bad thing. It's freedom. Most people are far too wrapped up in their own lives to seriously care about what you're doing. I mean, think about yourself. How much do you care about the other people around you and their success compared to how much you feel about your own? And sure, some people may judge you, but remember this, is that the ones who hate the loudest are oftentimes the ones who have the least going on. I call them Mr. Nobody because they risk nothing, build nothing, and feel nothing but jealousy. So when someone yells at you and says, I hate hot dogs, it's not a sign that someone cares. It's just a nobody talking. So whether it's silence or criticism, either way, nobody cares. On the other side of the equation, don't rely too much on support either. Even when people shout that you got this, they still don't really care that deeply. They may be happy for you, sure, and don't disregard this, but if you fail, it's not going to crush them. It's not a bad thing, it just means that your dreams are your responsibility. So stay humble and accept the encouragement, but do not build your confidence upon it. So when the noise fades and nobody's cheering, just keep going, because nobody cares yet. This third tip, like I said, is extremely important, but it's going to be extremely hard to grasp and apply it to your life. It's the most complex and it's also the most misunderstood. When you state it simply, it's don't do it for the world, do it for yourself. Don't chase your dreams for someone else. Don't make it conditional. I'm doing this so my mom can retire. I'm doing this so I can prove my haters wrong. I'm doing this for my kids. It sounds noble, but here's the truth. If your reasons are conditional, then your drive can be destroyed. What happens if your mom passes early? Or if the haters stop watching? Or if your kids fall in love with anime? Now what do you do? The only unbreakable reason to keep going is yourself and the alignment with God or your truest potential of your highest self. I don't want to get too religious on you guys, so just think about it this way. If you do believe in God, then see it in the eyes of God. And if you don't believe in God, then see it in the eyes of your highest, most wise self. When you do it for that version of you, the one looking back at your life with infinite wisdom, you can't lose. Ask yourself simply, would my higher self be proud of my next move? If the answer is no, adjust. Because that future you, the divine version of you, they already know what you're capable of, and they're just waiting on you to start. Here's a real example that you might be able to relate to in order to make this idea stick. Like I mentioned, a lot of our goals are built upon conditions, like the goal of wanting to make $1 million. But what happens when you hit $1 million? Do you stop trying? Is it all over? And what happens if the money collapses tomorrow and is no longer worth anything? Instead, base your goals on becoming the kind of person that your higher self would respect. Someone who builds systems, adds value, and creates meaning. That's the kind of dream that's not conditional. It doesn't fade, and it can keep you strong through all of the trials and tribulations. So there you have it. Tip number 1, start small and start at all. Tip number 2, nobody cares, and that's good news. And tip number 3, don't do it for the world, do it for yourself. I hope that these tips help you move past your excuses and begin to see reality for what it truly is. A blank canvas just waiting for your brushstroke. You don't need permission, and you definitely don't need perfection. You just need to start, preferably today. Alright guys, that's all I got for you today. I really appreciate you watching the video all the way through, and I hope that doing so actually gave you some valuable information that you can apply to your life. If you do like content like this, go ahead and subscribe because I do make a lot of it. If you enjoyed this particular video, go ahead and give it a like. And if you got anything good or bad to say, let me know down in the comment section below because I would love to hear it. God bless and good luck.